Ohayou gozaimasu. Welcome back to the channel. This is a little bit of a weird angle, but you'll live. I don't make money off YouTube yet, so don't complain. But yeah, so today we're just gonna talk about weapons. Again, this is my second video about it. The first one was like one of my first videos I made a while ago. But either way, so today it's more specific than just weapons and what I think about them. We're gonna talk about where you can get weapons for martial arts, why you might want weapons, and then also the different types of weapons and how to choose one, right? So first off, where can you get them? Everywhere. There's stores, there's stores, they exist. But let me tell you something that I've realized living in Michigan. It's hard to find specialty stores. It's really hard to find specialty stores. If you're in a huge, big place like California or Florida, it's easy. Texas even. But when you're in like small places or you're in states that don't have a lot of big city attraction places, it's hard to find special stores. Like if you look Google Maps, you might find 3 in the entire state that are like weapon stores for martial artists. There's plenty of people selling. There's plenty of people that own collections because they're martial art practitioners or they're masters, grandmasters, and they have a bunch of stuff. But just finding regular old stores you could walk in and buy it, it's very hard to find specialty things. Shit, I had that problem trying to find a surfboard shop. Last year I wanted to try surfboarding, but I couldn't find a shop near me. I'm gonna have to Amazon that shit whenever I decide to try it. But that brings me to the next thing. Just online is your best option. You can look on eBay and see if there's people near you. That's what I was going to say my first thing I always check is eBay because I was a certified Amazon person. I bought things on Amazon. I bought things on Amazon and nowhere else because I always had my correct items. They were never broken. They were always on time and it wasn't too expensive, not too horribly expensive. But I tried eBay one time and that shit was perfect. And I'm gonna be looking on eBay every time first and then going to Amazon because goddamn eBay is amazing. At least for me. I have really good luck with online shopping. I've never had a bad product, so I don't know if you should trust me or not for the control group of this experiment, but either way. So yeah, on eBay, I was going to say that, but then here's the thing. If you're gonna use a weapon and you're gonna train with it, I feel like it's best to get it brand new just so it doesn't break on you. The last thing you want is to be practicing flourishes with your swords and then oops, it broke off the handle and now you got a sword in your face, you know what I'm saying? So that's what popped into my head when I'm thinking of used weapons. And I'm just concerned about that. And like I'm concerned about it breaking in the middle of you using it and then you getting seriously injured or injuring somebody else, So I would say try to not use eBay for certain things that are dangerous, like swords and nunchaku. If you want an eskrima stick and you just want 2 sticks, sure. But like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like that idea of it breaking and you have that issue. So where I go, I've bought several weapons, as you see in old video. I think my entire collection is a bow staff, which is just a PVC pipe, about 5 feet, and it's, that wide in diameter. And it's really nice and fun and light, but not too light. But yeah, I got a PVC pipe, which is my bow staff, because the real one's hundreds of dollars, and I don't have it right now. I have 2 pairs of nunchaku, because I want the dual, like Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I have double broadswords, like Zuko's. It's a replication of Zuko's from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And then I have, like, hard plastic versions of the broadswords, which were my practice ones, because I don't want to cut my hand off trying to practice. And yeah, so I think that's my whole collection. And I got nunchakus and the fake broadswords from KarateMart.com. I got the real broadswords from Amazon somehow, and they were great. It came from China, and they made it really well quality, surprisingly. And obviously, I wouldn't try to fight with it, but for looking nice and not breaking when you first use it, it's great. For forms. And then the PVC pipe is PVC pipe. I had 2 and I broke 1. But it cost like $5, so who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? And I use that for not fighting. I haven't fought anybody yet, but I use it for training for fighting. I hit trees and shit and do all sorts of moves. Because yeah, for me, the weapons, nunchaku is my weapon that I love. And I love all of them, but nunchaku is the one I would train for forms, but for actual fighting, for me, I want practicality. I want what can I use legally, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm black. I don't need to have a sword on me and then they shoot me because they see it, even though I'm a practitioner of martial arts. So I'm going to hold something that is very inconspicuous, like a stick, and then that'll be it. And I can go anywhere with a bow staff. I can, and that's what Karate Mart has, a collapsible hard metal bow staff. It's not like a little baton that breaks. It's hard. It's metal, like literal metal, and it folds into this small. So boom, in my pocket, pull it out, hit somebody in the head. So your bow staff is just reliable, easy, simple to use. And the best thing about simple to use things is you can always push it a step further and make it complicated. And then, yeah, that's the good thing about Karate Mart. They just have a wide range of things. So whatever you want, there's a good chance you can find it on Karate Mart. They might not have many options for more of the more inconspicuous things, like the 3-section bow staff. They might not have a lot of options for those, but they have it. They have Eskrima sticks, they have Kama, they have Tonfa, they have, nunchaku, they have bow staffs. They have a lot. Karate Mart, sponsor me, I love you. Please send me free stuff. But anyway. So yeah, I would always, if you're looking for weapons, I would say KarateMart.com and then number 2, Amazon. That's the order I would say go. Just because, like I said, Karate Mart is a place for weapons. That is what they are. They do martial arts. Amazon, anyone from anywhere can sell on there. And they, if you go to any of these sellers, you can click the seller's page. They might sell flags, like American flag, Chinese flags, British flags, and then they also might sell crock pots and socks. Like it's a wider range. So I always think it's better to be great at one thing to be a master of a million things. And that's also my problem, because I am very excited about life. I love to do things. I love to try things. I love to do things. I love to do things, right? And when you have a million ideas in your head, you can't do them all. I could, but the problem is, if I'm practicing 7 different weapons, I'm not going to be as great as I would be if I focused all that energy into one. And that's the same thing with the sellers, right? So, like I said, you can find great things on Amazon. Obviously, I found those 2 broadswords somehow. And the funniest thing is I bought it without even realizing it was a replica of Zuko's. And I love Zuko is the reason I wanted to do broadswords. And I didn't even realize the broadswords I bought was a replication of his. So it's just funny how that worked out. Of course, I don't do broadswords anymore. At least not right now. I still have them. I'm not going to sell them, but, funny. Either way. Yeah, so I guess pros and cons is that Karate Mart obviously depends on where you are. But, it's a website. It's not Amazon, the billion-dollar corporation. It's a website. It's a company, a regular old company run by people. So it's going to take a while for things to get there. But I don't really have cons. It's more so just a regular thing of shipping. I don't really have cons. Like, I don't think that things are crazy expensive at all. One of the nunchakus was $20, and I hit shit, I flip it, I do all sorts. You see my videos, I use them nunchakus. I use them, and they have no problems. It's real metal in the chain, real wood. The swords, I use those as well for a while. Hold up just fine to strikes, don't get hit. By the way, if you're looking into broadswords and Karate Mart, there's 2 different versions of theirs. They have the soft impact and the hard impact. If you want to hit things and train with them hard, please get the hard impact. You don't need your shit breaking. But either way, yeah, I think I have no problems with anything I bought from Karate Mart. And the same thing with Amazon. Now, Amazon has an expensive problem when you do certain things. That you can definitely find cheap stuff, but I feel like anything you get on Amazon, you can look it up and maybe find it $10 cheaper somewhere else, And if you don't want to, with weapons, I say don't risk it with things like eBay and Alibaba. But anything else, risk it. I don't give it. Like, I'll risk it. I don't care. I will go to Alibaba. I will go to AliExpress. I will go to eBay. I will go to Temu. So, yeah, that's the only websites I got really. And there's plenty of websites. But I'm a big person when it comes to spending my money. Stick to what you know, because you don't want to waste it. And then, like, money is already scarce, but it's even more scarce. Everything's going up, right? And it's going to continue to go up. So, yeah, we need to hold on to our money and get our money's worth. And that's the thing. A lot of people want to be a con man. Con mans have existed forever, but especially now, everyone wants to be a con man. So please just watch your money. And these are the 2 websites I use, and I trust them thoroughly. Also, a little mini rant. There's, in martial arts, you have the boards that you break. That's a whole part of martial arts forever. Breaking the boards, showcasing your skill, your strength, and just seeing how well you can accurately hit your target, right? Let me tell you something. This amazing product. I don't know who invented it, how they did it, but it's so good. Where it's a reusable plastic board. Each one, as you go up in the strength, is thicker, harder plastic. So it like replicates having a thicker board or a more strong wooden board. Because, you know, wooden boards is what you use, but you have to buy those things. You have to keep getting more and more boards. But with the plastic boards, you just keep breaking them over and over. They have interlocking plastic like this. So when you break it, you know, and then you just snap it back into place for the next person. And that's amazing. I want that for myself so I can train my board breaking, because I'm not buying 20 pieces of wood. You know what I'm saying? I'll buy that when I have my own dojang. Not right now. Hell no. I'm a college student. I'm poor anyway. So I'm double poor now. You know what I'm saying? But so I would definitely save up for those. But do you know how much one of those things are? $60, $80 for one board. The whole set is like 6, 7, 8. The whole set. So to get one board, it's going to be $80 down the hole. I looked on Karate Mart. To get the whole set, it would be like $500. And it's like that, you know, it's a piece of equipment. Equipment for any sort of sport is expensive, but goddamn, like a normal person, just $500 out the wazoo. You know what I'm saying? So for any normal person, that's a lot of money. So I just wanted to rant about how expensive boards are. Because even if you go on Amazon and get the goofy ass, weird white brim border ones, they're still pretty expensive. And I don't want that shit. I want the ones I know that are good. Legacy boards or whatever. Here, you know, I'm gonna find the fucking, hold on, I'm gonna find the brand so y'all know which one I'm talking about, so I can say that they're good, but I want them to be cheaper. Martial art boards. Let's see. No, give me Masterline rebreakable boards. Yeah, on Amazon they're $75 a piece. On Karate Mart, I'm pretty sure they're like 60 or something. Give me my Karate Mart. Let's see. Okay, see, on Karate Mart they're $64.95 a piece. And on Amazon they're $75.99. So yeah. And that's now, you know, prices always change. So that's one of the things because look, let me tell you something. I plan so far in advance for a lot of things. Not like every single day, every single thing I'm going to do for the next 10 years. No. But like broad strokes, I have plans. I'm never going through life blindly. I have plans, right? And then I'm able to adapt when those plans don't work out or if they do. But one thing I know, because as someone who doesn't have a lot of money, I have to plan out when I buy things. Even if it's just $50, I got to plan that shit for like a month so I can, you know what I'm saying, figure out how am I going to get this $50 for this. So I might save $5 from this check, $10 from this check, $2 from this check, you know what I'm saying? So something I realized is to not look at the prices right now, just save money and then look at them when you buy it. Because for all I know, when I get that $500 in like a year or two, and I go back to Karate Mart, they might be $80 now, or they might be $20. They're never gonna be $20, but you know what I'm saying? So just, if you have to budget and save as well, don't focus too much on those prices. Don't get your heart set on those prices because they might be more. So I would say save your money and like say if it's $60 now, when you have that $60, look again to see if you need more. Because I'm just saying don't get your hopes up because prices change all the time, especially for specialty items that aren't mass produced. Like this isn't a pop socket. They don't make 5 million of these every day. Part of why they're so expensive. But either way, you know, back to the topic at hand, you know, the next point I want to talk about is why weapons. Why would you even want to use a weapon instead of your fists? Now, I have two things. One is I would always say you just use your fist because it's on you at all times. There's no way to lose it unless, you know, you get horribly mangled. But you don't talk about this. It's always attached to you. It's always there. You can control every single aspect of this. You know, usually if you're able-bodied, you can control every single aspect of yourself. You can train it as much as you want. You can gain any skill you want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a big believer in that. So I would always say don't be only a weapons person. If you can, do whatever you want. Like, do whatever you want. If you want to be a master bowsmith and just be the most badass bower in the world. I don't know what you call a bow person. Bowist? Bower? Archer. There we go. Shit. I had to think about it. Archer. If you want to be the most badass archer in the world, you can. Spend your entire life archering. But I suggest if we're thinking about realistic fighting, because martial arts is for fun. Weapons are for fun. A lot of these things are for fun. But in my mind, I'm also thinking of real life and realistic ways to save yourself and realistic just things in general. And I think the best bet for being a good fighter in general and just being a well-rounded person in terms of defense is to be competent with just your hands and nothing else. Be competent with your full body, because you don't know. That's why I love martial arts, the hands and feet, because shit, your hands might be not decapitated, busy, and you might be doing something else. You might need to kick somebody in the face. You know what I'm saying? You don't know the situation. So I think you want to give yourself the best outcomes in any fight. So shit, what if you run out of arrows? What if your axe head breaks? What if someone takes your sword from you? What if your bow staff, it's just a stick? What if someone knocks it out of your hands and it's way over there now? What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you should be prepared in these situations. But so I think weapons, instead of the thing that makes you fight, I think it should be an enhancement to your ability. I don't think it should be your only ability. So I think why weapons? To enhance yourself further than you could be naturally. For example, a bow staff. You're swiping, you're swinging. Now your reach is 4 feet longer than it would be normally. Archer, your reach is 40 feet longer than it would be normally. And you can just bing, 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 bing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really want to. And then also, it's kind of like similar to, I don't like it, but it's similar to guns, where it's like you're just giving yourself more power than you ever could naturally. You know what I'm saying? And it's just another added, it's just like working out more. You're just adding more to your belt of things you can do and things you can use to protect yourself and the people around you. So yeah, I think that's why weapons just enhance yourself in ways you wouldn't be able to naturally. Because look, I am a big believer in fist fights and just, being the fist fighter, learning to fight with no weapons, and that's it. I think that's more important than anything, because most often than not, you won't have a weapon on you, or you won't be able to get to it quick enough. So that's why I think self-defense is very important. I think just playing good old fighting skills is good and important for existing in the dangerous world right now. Because you can have a gun, but how quick are you going to get to that gun? Which is also, side note, if you're going to have a gun, please, for the love of God, practice drawing it and getting in position. Just like I said in the previous video about knives, in the self-defense video, please, for the love of God, practice that. You want to be quick, you want to be ready, because the last thing you want is like trying to get it out, and now you're screwed because they got theirs out first. So same thing with weapons. Just practice everything you can. Be as thorough and quick as you can, because the last thing you want is to be too slow, and the second last thing you want is just to hurt yourself with your own weapon. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's also a kind of weapons. It's very easy to hit yourself with your weapons, especially some of the more dangerous ones like swords and maces with a little swinging ball and shit. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful. Dang, I'm getting texts up the wazoo. Damn. I don't know why I'm saying wazoo. I ain't never said that shit in my life. I'm just saying it a lot today. I'm okay with that though. It's fine. Excuse me while I eat a grape. Ooh, that one was sour. Ugh. So now after that long ass tangent of me saying one sentence in like 50 sentences, we're gonna talk about the different types of weapons. I already said a lot in this video, but there's many different types and reasons to get different weapons, right? So you have your range weapons, you have your strength weapons, you have your speed weapons, and then you got your just kind of all-rounder, it just enhances very simple thing weapons. Like, they have one good thing they do. For example, that last category, you have brass knuckles, not enhancing your speed or range. They just kind of make your punches hurt more, you know what I'm saying? So that's just a power thing, you know what I'm saying? And then for range, obviously we got our bows, we got our crossbows, we have our guns. Anyway, I'm thinking of more weapons that you actually have to, let me not go into a rant about guns, sorry. But yeah, you have your bows, your crossbows, you have your little, what do you call those, dart blowers? You know what I'm saying? You got those. You have your slingshots as well. Slingshots underrated. I would say, use that, and I guess if you could find good ways to use that, we're not kind of in that time anymore where we need to sling rocks at people. We have much more advanced weapons than that. And swords are so great. For me, I just think, as much as I would love to be a sword person, I just don't think I like it because it's so long and you have to just like ching, 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 ching. It's just like, I feel most of my time is just making sure I'm not hitting myself with it. Which is like, yeah, sure, obviously it's part of the sword, but like, I just don't think that's for me. Nunchaku is very easy to not hit yourself because it's small. It's only this big. You know what I'm saying? But sword is this big. And that's just me, But there's 50 million types of swords. Long swords, small swords, broad swords, katana. You got the fucking medieval square ass sword. You got the giant ass anime sword that's like this thick and you put it on your shoulder. You got the cool hook swords that they got, I think, in China. I think it's where it came from, where you can swing that shit on each other. And 20 million other versions. You got the stick category, which is my favorite because it's simple. Eskrima, Tonfa, bow staff, Also, I don't want to hear no flack about me saying bow staff. I know I'm just saying bow or just staff, but leave me alone. That's what we say in America. Leave me alone. It's just like chai tea. I know we're just saying TT, but that's just how we say it. Leave us alone. Just like master. No, excuse me, just like kung fu. Like if you say master kung fu, you're just saying master. But whatever, anyway. So yeah, there's many different types of weapons. So I guess to pick one, you just depend on what do you want? What do you want to train? Would you like range? Range is very good because you're out of danger for most of the time and it's very versatile. I think bow is one of the awesomest weapons ever. And it just looks cool too, like honestly, just boom. Like you can't tell me that's not cool. Merida looks badass no matter what the internet says. But yeah, I think bow is one of those great ones. Also, not once again, I never said this, but really great in real life settings for survival. That's a really good thing to use for hunting. And you can keep reusing your arrows. Shoot them, pull it out, got the meat, go home. You know what I'm saying? So I think bows are great for that because, animals, they're very scary. They hear, they're going to run because they're smart. They're trying to stay alive. You know what I'm saying? So bows are great for that. So yeah, if you want range, then obviously you look at range weapons. You want strength. You want to enhance your strength. You can look at strength weapons. You want to just find something that's going to hurt real bad. You can find a hurty weapons. There's plenty of those. You want things that are, if you're like me, you want things that you can bring anywhere that are easy to use. Look at the stick. Look at the stick variations. Tonfa is also really great. It looks cool as well. Tonfa is just really fun. You spin that shit on the little. I love Tonfa so much. Side note, if anyone's seen the most recent iteration of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Nickelodeon, I think. Raphael, his Sai got switched for a Tonfa. Looks pretty cool. I think he's still much better with the Sai, but just in that version, he looks pretty nice with his Tonfa, and I think it's great that Tonfa's getting some spotlight. I think they switched it so he's less dangerous, I guess, which is silly because Leo literally has katanas. They're just two big ass swords, but whatever. Okay, sure. But yeah, I think, think about what do you want out of a weapon. When you're deciding, if you can't decide what you want, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't really give a shit and you just want something cool to do, then I say do bow or bow staff or sword. No, not even that. That's the simplest ones because I think those are all pretty cool. You can put time into it. You can have fun. But I also think you should also look into the more exotic ones that not everyone does. Like I said, those little hook swords that you can spin. There's a weapon that's a string with a little weight on the end, and you can use that to tie people up and shit. It's very cool. There's a guy on Instagram or TikTok, I don't know. He's somewhere and he like picks up fucking chairs and shit with that string because he's that good with the rope. So yeah, I would say if you really have no idea, try some of those more exotic ones because they're underrated, and bringing them to light can help whatever country they came from get a little more attention and a little more appreciation. You know what I'm saying? Sort of like how the other video where I was saying train in martial arts, that training in martial arts is important because it's keeping the tradition alive. So I think training in certain weapons is also helpful to keeping those traditions alive. Because everyone knows katanas, everyone knows those UK swords and shields. You know what I'm saying? Everyone knows bow staffs. Everyone knows nunchaku. But look, you know, so give the little guys a chance too, if you don't care either way. And you know, when you're matching a weapon to yourself, you can decide to use it to enhance your skills that you already have, or you can use it to help skills that you don't have. For example, if you're a really slow fighter with your fists and your feet, you can get a bow because that's real quick and easy. You don't have to be punching fast. You just pull out and boom. Like the further you pull it back, the faster it's gonna go. So you might be slow, but if you can hold that bow back, hold that heavy ass string back and let it go, that arrow is gonna fly through the air quicker than you can even blink. You know what I'm saying? So, or if you're a really strong person and you want to enhance your strength, you can get brass knuckles. You can get an axe because it's just a big ass heavy piece of metal on the end of that stick. So just put your weight into it, boom. You know what I'm saying? Or a mace. A mace is really good for hurting people and hurting their skulls. Trust me. And then speed, if you're naturally speedy, nunchaku, great. Bow staff, great. And that's also great things with fast things. Not bow staff, but like fast, where you're moving a lot. It's also a good way to disorient your opponents. Because if they can't see you, they don't know what you're doing, they're going to get a little scared. They're going to be like, whoa, what the fuck? And they might run just from that. You know, there was a saying, I don't even remember exactly how it goes, but it's like the story was that there was a guy trying to rob somebody, and the guy he was trying to rob pulled out an nunchaku and did this type of shit. And the guy ran the fuck away. So what people are saying, like what, you know, the internet says in relation to that video, a lot of people's reactions is that he either only knows that move or he knows way more than that. You don't want to risk it. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone trained enough to be able to do all this fucking crazy ass shit, well, there's a good chance they know more than that. They've been training long the fuck enough for you to want to get out of Dodge. And that's the good thing. That's what you want. You want people to leave you the fuck alone. So I think it never hurts to learn something flashy, even if it's just to deter your opponents. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and I guess, you know, to end it off, one last thing I want to say is that don't forget, just like my previous video with the what martial arts should you train or what's the best martial arts, don't forget you can do anything, any weapon you want, literally any weapon, and you can make it great. It depends on what you do with it and how much you put into it. You know, you see any athlete or a musician, you know, they talk about they put their blood, sweat, and tears in that thing. Like, for example, I was in the marching band, drumline. A drum is just a drum, but it depends on how you use it. What do you put into it? You put your blood, sweat, and tears into that drum, it can be a beautiful instrument. And it's just like these weapons. A bow is just a string and it's just some string and a piece of wood. And a stick, a string and a stick. Look at the Minecraft recipe, right? But look at what these people do with these things. Look at the Olympic fucking bow archers, bro. They on they shit. You know what I'm saying? Look up any video of a master with a bow staff. It's literally just a long stick. Look at how they can manipulate that thing. Nunchaku is just 2 sticks on a string. You know, like, think about it. So it's all about your greatness and what you put into it. Anyone can make any object great. So whatever weapon you decide to do, if you stick with it and you put your all into it and you use your brain and, you know, try to contemplate, think of scenarios, then it'll work out. And also don't feel bad if you don't like a weapon that you thought you would. I bought a $200 broadsword and I ended up not wanting it. Like I said, I'm still gonna keep it and train it at some point, but it's not my favorite. I'm not a sword person, for training at least. But yeah, I mean, you know, if you're ever curious, browse, you know, internet, but just be careful when you're buying things on websites you don't know. And then also a tip for online buying, just always look it up in the Better Business Bureau and look it up on the scam checker websites. You see a website like coolweapons.com, you know, just look up in Google, is coolweapons.com legit? And then it'll say yes or no in one of those websites. So yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed the video and just enjoy your weapons journey, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, whatever you do, just enjoy it and put effort into it. It's worth it. And the harder you try, the better you'll be. Also, one last thing. As someone who, you know, I get it, not being able to buy a $500 weapon or $200 weapon or even a $100 weapon, $50 weapon. So, because a lot of these things are made out of metal and expensive and hardwood. So they're going to be up there in the price, right? So don't be afraid to go to fucking Home Depot and get you some PVC pipe and plastic and make your own makeshift version. Like I said, my bow staff is a PVC pipe that was like $5. And I'm going to continue to use that until I can afford the real one. So don't be afraid to makeshift something. I've seen plenty of makeshift swords and makeshift knives out of like silly putty. Not silly putty, but there's some sort of hard plastic you can use. Just for practicing. Obviously not for defense. Please use real weapons if you're using defense. But for training, look, don't let your limitations hold you back. There is always ways around the problem. That is the number one thing I can say to anyone. Don't give up if the first thing doesn't work. Don't give up training if you can't afford that bow. If you can't afford that bow, it's okay. Get you a fucking stick and get you some elastic band and get you a little fake one. It might not be the same thing, but it's something. There's always something you can do. You can get a little play bow from Walmart for $20 with some little plastic arrows. So just, it might not be what you want, but you don't always get what you want, right? So I just want to encourage you to do what you can with what you got. Do not give up because, you don't have the money or you're not good or you don't have time. I know for a goddamn fact that you got 5 minutes out of your day to practice your weapon. So I don't have time. I don't believe that. It's for anyone, genuinely. You might not have a lot of time. That can be completely true. But I do not believe anybody, a normal, average working person, has no time. Not like that. Shit, you might have kids and stuff. When they go to bed, you can spend an hour training. And I'm not trying to be insensitive. Sometimes you're just too pooped. But I just wanna open your eyes to the possibilities and do not set yourself limits. And you can always try. And that's basically it. You know what I'm saying? So, let me know in the comments what weapons you do train or what weapons you're interested in training. And, there's always classes for some of these things. There's classes for every single weapon. They might not be near you, but there's classes for every single weapon. Look online. There's plenty of masters that have put plenty of series on a bunch of different weapons. So look that up and feel free to learn. Learning's awesome, right? All right. Jotting it.